Hmm. So I'm in a bit of a pickle. When I was a kid, my mom always told me never to watch too much television because then I'll get sucked into it. And I guess she was right, because I am now trapped inside of a television. And if I'm being honest with you guys, it's a pretty cramped space in here. This TV is only like half an inch thick. So it kind of sucks. And I'm going to try to find a way out. But while I'm doing that, enjoy the video, I guess. When I was a kid, I lived in Kent. Well, really Kent and Federal Way, but this part of the story takes place in Kent. And I was so adventurous, if not a little stupid. I mean, I'll be honest, I was in the third grade. What kid's not an idiot when they're in the third grade? Now, we lived at a place called Waterford Apartments, and I remember looking it up recently, and Kent really kind of seems to have gotten rough. Back then, it was a brand new neighborhood. It was a brand new part, really like a new suburb. So this was 25 years ago. But we went to a school called Neely O'Brien, and in Waterford Apartments, really in the back of it, we had like this great big huge empty field. Now that field was like a wonderland for myself and my friends. And in reality, my sister and I used to go and we used to pick blackberries or raspberries, whatever they were, out of these thorn bushes. And mom would get so pissed because we would come into the house and we would just trample raspberries all over the carpet, and she would get so pissed because we'd like stomp it into the ground. They had to like hire professional cleaners to clean it out all the time, and of course we'd be covered in raspberry juice and blackberry juice and stuff like that. And so the clothes would be pretty much ruined if it was anything other than like black or blue, and it was amazing. But we had this great big huge fort. We used to call it the fort. It was really just like a giant collection of trees, but we used to call it the fort. And we would all go there and we would hang out. We'd climb the trees and all that kind of good stuff. Now, one of the big downsides to Seattle is that it rains all the time. And so here we are, some little kids who are hanging out. And it was myself, a buddy of mine, Ace, from back in the day, and I want to say a kid named Tamarie, but I feel like he was in Federal Way, so maybe it was his cousin Marquise. Anyway, no, maybe it was Malik. I think it was Malik is who it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, so we were we were hanging out in this fort, and we were taking turns like swinging, like swinging off the branch. Now this was a great big huge thick branch. It wasn't like a small thing. And so here comes Ace, and he swings off of it. Ace does just fine. And then here comes like Marquise, we'll say Marquise, and Marquise swings off of it. He does just fine. Here comes Rob Jefferson with the Rob Jefferson luck, and I go to grab this thing and I go to swing and lose my grip. Now this all in hindsight happens in slow motion, right? So like I go to grab this thing and I'm just like, yeah, man, we got this. Like I'm already nervous. I'm a little unsure, but I'm already nervous. I go and grab this thing. All right, I go to swing and my hands just slide right off of it and I go falling backwards. And I put my arm straight out like that, like right behind me, just like that, to brace my fall. And at the elbow joint, the bones go just like that, and just dislocated my elbow. And it was, oh my God, I remember it. I remember it to this day. I'm just sitting on the ground like that. And I'm just like, ah, and I'm just screwed. I remember Ace looking down. He's like, ew. And then he takes off running, right? Marquise runs home. He's just like, man, fuck that. So he goes running home, right? Just disappears. Ace goes running over to my mom's house. All right, maybe it was maybe something like 2 or 3. It felt like 2 or 3 seconds later. Here comes Mama Bear. Bobby! Just beelining down the back of the apartment place, right? Like her little baby boy. Oh, her little baby boy just just died. So she comes running down, right? She's like, oh baby. So like she picks me up and like we go walking back to the house. All right, ambulance comes in. Ambulance takes me to Children's Hospital. So I'm sitting there and they go to set it, and I remember feeling like this weird pinch. But like compared to the dislocation, oh my God, it was nothing. And so come to find out, like I found this out years later, come to find out what the doctors had done is when they'd gone to set my bones, they broke my arm. Like they broke my arm, like right here, like right in the whatever this is. I don't remember what this is called. The forearm area, this arm bone here thing, whatever that is. I think that's a scientific name. This arm bone thing here, that's the technical name for it. And so, so that gets broken. And so they put me in a cast that runs up through here, and then it runs, like I think it stopped right here at the fingers. And then it ran all the way up into about right here, until about the middle of my upper arm. And oh my God, dude, okay. The worst part of breaking a bone is the cast, because one, like, it was uncomfortable. Like I had to like lay like that, like with my arm, like I'd have to lay down to sleep with my arm like that, and like it had to be like that all the time because it's stuck in a fixed position so the bone can knit itself. And like, dude, the worst thing was the itching. Oh god, I remember I used to grab coat hangers and like straighten them out and like stick it down in there and then just start like itching away, scratching away. Oh dude, it was heaven. Oh my god, it was heaven, dude. When that arm would start itching, I would just like jam it in there and start. But here was the other thing too. Oh, dude, I remember it to this day. All right, little Rob Jefferson in the 3rd grade. Dude, the girls, oh my God, the girls, they were like, oh, it's okay, are you okay, and how are you doing? I was never received so much attention in my life. Teachers all felt bad for me, and everybody just like, oh, little Bobby broke his arm, and it was hilarious because I'd get like special treatment, and I would like get to do things that other kids like wouldn't be able to do. Like they would just do it as a mercy thing. They would just be like, well, I mean, he can go on the field trip. Didn't really earn it because he's a little bad motherfucker, but like he can go and he can go on the field trip because he's got a broken arm. We feel so bad for the kid. Made me the enemy of a lot of people, but it was crazy. Now here's the funny thing. So they go to cut the cast off, right? Like what they would do is every once in a while, I can't remember what the frequency was, maybe once a month or something like that, because I don't remember how long I had it on. It felt like an eternity, but maybe it was something like 3 months or something along those lines. I don't remember off the top of my head. But of course they would cut it off, and they would just like, all the skin would just be dead. Like it would, or not really dead, but it would just be like flaky and dry and nasty looking. Oh my God. And the smell, this acrid ass smell would just be like, Jesus, it was dank. And it was the grossest thing. And my sister would be there, my mom would be there, and they would just be like, God, that smells so bad. It's like, well, you know what? It's unwashable skin that's been concealed in a cast for 3 months. How do you think it's gonna smell? And so finally, it was kind of crazy because I remember looking distinctly at my arms. And like this arm had grown, by, however it was, not really through length, but I mean, I was a little pudgy kid back in the day. All right. So like this arm had grown. Well, we used to call it being husky is what we used to call it back in the day. It's just a nice way of saying you're fat. But anyway, so like this arm was like super thin and it looked all emaciated and everything. And it was just like, God, that's so crazy. But it's one of the weirdest things, right? Like, I mean, it's just to this day, I still distinctly remember the pain of dislocating my elbow because it was a combination of just shearing pain and tickling because you got the funny bone area right there, like hitting nerves and stuff like that. Anyway, it was wild because like I remember talking to my mom maybe 6-7 years ago, and she had mentioned, she was like, the doctors were kind of astounded that when you dislocated it the way you did, that you didn't like damage nerves or anything, which I'm glad too because I could have lost the feeling in my hand, any number of things. But it's kind of a wild situation. Yeah, maybe one day I'll tell you guys a story about how I stuck my head in a hole and almost got my eye scratched out by a cat. Not the smartest move I ever made. I got a lot of stories about when I used to do stupid things. When we used to pull pranks on the ice cream man. When we didn't really steal. Well, to the best of your knowledge, we never stole from the ice cream man. We stole from that dude all the time. With like all these little things that I used to do when I was a little kid. Yeah, I should tell you guys some of these stories because they were, oh my God, the things I did when I was younger. Man, I made some boneheaded decisions as a kid, but I feel like that's a rite of passage, right? Like breaking a bone. Now, don't go break one. All right, if you're like 8 years old watching this, don't be like, well, Rob said I should go break my arm, so I'm gonna go break my arm. No, do not do that. That's a terrible idea. But I feel like it's a rite of passage to like break a bone or to dislocate something or something along those lines. That's what kids do. Kids eat mud. They break bones. We do dumb things. It's the nature of what it means for us to be kids. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. And with that being said, guys, we're gonna bring this video to an end, and I will catch you all later. Peace.